Hey, yo, we back to you live on another edition of Pod City. Today's gonna be a little different. We're gonna talk about, gender roles and gender issues that we have in our families. It's actually plaguing our families, and I just wanted to hit on that. But before that, if y'all on Facebook, go on Facebook groups, look for the Miggy and Us Sports Rivals channel, and add yourself in there. If you're into sports, add yourself in there. Uh, Upload clips of sports clips, everything sports related. We're gonna be talking about that in there. We're gonna have trivia. I'm working on a few sponsors, and that's what's kind of keeping me back right now. But that's definitely gonna be lit. That's gonna be another podcast, another YouTube channel for that under the Pod City umbrella, of course. But yeah, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. But what I'm planning to do on that's gonna be lit, man. Uh, Definitely. But definitely, like I said, Miggy and us Sports Rivals. Go on Facebook and add yourself to the group if you're into sports. Okay. Now we're gonna get into some difficult topics, touchy topics. I don't, you know what I mean. I don't want to be the one spokesperson for it, but it's very triggering for me. You know, it's very triggering for anybody that's been in like a long-term relationship, and it's the tug and pull of it, the tug and pull. Um, I think all of this was fabricated from the beginning. Honestly, I think our whole generation was set up in a way. Sometimes I feel like it was set up to fail economically, socially, and family structures in a lot of ways. Why do I say that? Just a lot of slogans that were built into our heads when we were younger that just sounded pretty, but they were very stupid. You know what I'm saying? That's how they get us. They get us with the pretty things, pretty words with devilish intent. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's the thing about the pretty words. Sometimes you don't have devilish intent behind it, but that's neither here nor there. They got us. They got us in several ways. And if you look back at your childhood, um, you'll understand what I mean. Like for example, I have nothing against women. I think women empowerment is very important. Uh, some women should be leaders. I mean, right now, the country is kind of calling for a woman president, and it would be preferable to be a black woman president. But right now, we're gonna talk like we're gonna talk about what's plaguing our families and why can't we keep our families. Like families are not. Have you guys noticed that families aren't in vogue? Like families seem to not be in vogue. Like single motherhood has been pedestalized to a point that it seems like that's the pinnacle of a woman's intent with a man is just to be a mother and a single mother at that. Not to be a wife, not for anything else, but to be a single mother. Now, and that's interesting because now what happens is you have the cultivation of single motherhood. And that's the type of thing that's rubbing men the wrong way right now. It's a type of thing that we're noticing, and it's not something new. It's like something that It's been in generations. It's been probably like 5, 6 generations now that single motherhood's just in vogue. That's the way to go. That's just the way to go. And us men just went about it that way. We just went about it that way. And for all the women thinking we're always bashing y'all, whatever, this is one of the prime issues. We've always went about it that way. We always, you know what I'm saying, been raised by single mothers, a lot of us in a lot of ways. Uh, a lot of the times, should I say. Um, and what happens is since you cultivated single motherhood, now you have to live it out. Now you have to live it out. So for you, so how can I explain this? You cultivated single motherhood to overcompensate for your duties. So you want to do your mom duties and your dad duties, which is all fine with me. It's all fine. I mean, that's what we grew up. You know, that's what we grew up with, and that's what we grew up respecting, and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? But as you get older, you start seeing the effects of it. A lot of men are bitch made. I'm gonna say that again, like Dr. Umar. A lot of men are bitch made. Can we hear that again? A lot of men are bitch made. Now that shit sounds kind of strong. But what do I mean by bitch made? I mean, they didn't have any male role models. They didn't have any male role models. They were purely woman made, made by their mothers and made by their sisters. Because that's another thing we do too. We don't empower our alphas. To a single mother, an alpha, right? An alpha man is the top threat of the house, which a lot of times is like a lot of times is because you trigger something within her. It may be because a lot of times you trigger something within her, or I don't know what the case may be. I always say it's a power struggle. Um, and that's messing us up too. That's messing us up too. Like I you know me during my single escapades, right? I've noticed, right, that the pattern has always been first and foremost, all these women, 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10. No, I'm lying. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. All these women got beat. They all got beat up by their man. All their men cheated. All their men cheated. I got. If you look down, everybody conduct this experiment with me. These two experiments, right? I want you to go down your timeline or go down your contacts list in your phone, right? And count all the single mothers. And you gonna tell me that that's not true? Nah, it's purely cultivation because she benefits from that. She benefits le- from destroying the family, throwing the baby out with the bathwater, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Um, and we have this cognitive dissonance of just always thinking mom is right And we gotta remember that. We gotta remember, right, that mom already holds great power. Mom manages the family. Mom manages um, the children. Remember this, man. Remember this, man. The children belong to her. She belongs to you, and you belong to God. God, always remember that. But in our case, she belongs to the government. But that's another story. It's the same story, but we're not even gonna get into that, in because that's just common sense. That's just common sense. I mean, what is the another thing is like there is no I mean the common like girls want try to lean on in this era is the man just left to go get some milk and never came back. Like they talk about us like that. They don't understand that we got raised with them with no man either. We didn't want to be that man. We didn't want to be that man. Can we say that again? We didn't want to be that man. That's a top burden. That's a big burden when you're trying to live up to that, to being there for your child, and you can't for some reason for or another, whether it's economically or whether it's you having baby mama issues. And a lot of us men aren't as bad as the generations before. Like women treat us these days like the old black exploitation movies. They treat us like we those people, like we Shaft and we, you know what I mean, Ron O'Neal and you know what I'm saying? Like that's how they treat us. Like they treat us like we move like that. When we found that really disgusting when we was growing up, and because they thought about us like that, right? Now they act like that. Now they exploiting titties. Now they exploiting this. They exploiting that. One thing that's sad about our whole story right now, even in like the OnlyFans era and everything like that, you know, yeah, we're jumping into that. We're jumping into that off the rip. One thing that's sad about that is if you guys ever heard of Sarah Bartman, she was a slave uh, that was captured and owned, I think in the UK somewhere. But she had an incredible, let's say she had an incredible set of assets and a great pair of plums. Let's say that. Um, White men were fascinated by her. And as the white man does, what they did was they put her in captivation, put her in a cage, and made her dance for forever. She was sold from this owner to that owner, and all the owners had her doing the same thing. Some of the owners raped her, and she had a few babies. But that was the first vixen. Look her up, Sarah Bartman, first black vixen. Definitely look that up. So it's just a shame that the only people that seem to be reaping the benefits of single motherhood is just single mothers. from every angle. You can have a child, right? Because there's a whole nother thing, right? Because I want to say, you know what? I ain't gonna use that example. But one thing I'm gonna say is that we got to make some changes. We got to make some changes. We can't be so mad and so uptight about gender roles because gender roles matter. Like I told you before, they fucked us up with a lot of slogans. One of the top slogans that they fucked us up with was, "Anything you can do, I can do better." And we never outgrew that. I don't feel like, not our generation. People born in the 80s, 85, and so on. Um, yeah, I don't feel like we outgrew that, bro. I don't feel like it at all. Um, I felt like it got worse. Around that time, they got rid of home ec in schools and things like that. And what else? The whole curriculum changed, so we don't even know what was things like before. We just had a nice little idea of it or whatnot. But gender roles were very important. There was Boy Scouts, there was Girl Scouts. Sorry, it's itching my nose, man. It's trimming my I was trying to give myself a line up and maybe some hair, some shit. But anyways, like I was saying, there was Boys Club, there was Girl Scouts, and there was Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts. They kept them separated because they had to learn different talents. They had to learn different talents, and they had to learn how to work in groups and in team oriented sense. Not that that in a co-ed way you can't build with a woman, but it's just certain things that women won't care about, like they're not wired to care about, that we are wired to care about. So when a person is bored with something they don't care about, they're gonna want to sabotage it or change the subject or change. Let's do this. Let's do that. No, no, I don't want to build a boat today. Let's go. Let's go play volleyball. And a lot of people, and 10 people out the group. Out of 10 people out the group, 4 people probably want to go play volleyball. The other dude probably want to hit it. The other dude just thinks she's nice, and maybe we should maybe we should play volleyball because women are always right, and da-da-da, and on, and nothing gets done. That's why they separate the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts and all that shit. That makes sense. Oh, let's build a treehouse. Nah, she ain't gonna help, man. She ain't gonna help. She ain't gonna help. Matter of fact, if she can get y'all to fight, so y'all don't stay on that project for 2 weeks and ignore her, she will do that. It's just a woman's nature. So now we segue to the chrisean and the Blueface situation. What's going on there? You know what's going on there? He fucked up. He fucked up. Why did he fuck up? You are giving someone that doesn't care about you or care about your brand too much access to your brand. So if you are working because not you on a podcast and da, 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 da. That's your brand, puppy. That's your brand. You feed yourself and you feed your family and you feed her with this brand. If she is reckless on how she can sabotage your brand and your triggers and all this other stuff, and she's gonna do that in public to make you fumble the bag, she don't love you, man. She just don't love you. What was triggering about that whole situation, it wasn't just the fight. What was triggering about the situation was this morning, or it was 2 days after. I don't know what now. It's all ridiculous. I'm canceling them both, by the way. By the way, I'm canceling them both because we got that in each block. We got 10 of those in each block, matter of fact. And that's my whole point of this whole fucking bullshit. The cultivation of single motherhood live and direct. We're all seeing it. We're all seeing it live. Shorty said what last time they had an altercation or whatever, she was saying that she had a couple of abortions, or I don't know what the case was. I don't, you know what I mean? She made it sound like he didn't want the babies or what. I don't know what. You know what? At the end of the day, the woman has she has a choice of her body and whatever. All you can say is, if you don't want the baby, all you can say is you're not with it or whatever the case is. But if she wants to, go have the baby, you're fucked, papito. But at the same time, I don't know. At the same time, it's funny how women don't police themselves in that sense. Like, let's say a man don't want to have a baby with you. Like in this case, right? The man don't want to have a baby with you. Why don't you get on on birth control? Because you're purposely trying to have a baby with her. She has a case right now of a because there's the thing. If you're gonna be close to his brand like that, like Whack 100 said, that's another dude that he's just corny, and if he ever says something that is feasible, you probably should take that advice. You should probably take that advice. So you don't really give him great advice at all. And he basically said, what do you want to do? Do you want to sign to a label? Do you want to nah? You want to be you just want to be reckless. You want to be reckless, and you want him to defend you all the time. You want your man to defend you all the time. That's all dangerous, yo. That's all dangerous. You're not protecting the bag, yo. What's crazy about it all is like, yo, bro, this is what's going on with her. She thought she won a sweepstakes. And at the end of the day, there was no prize. So she's trying to take her prize. And that's basically what she's doing right now. Now she's pregnant, dancing all over the hospital on the way to the OBGYN or whatever the case is. And the doctors are looking at her like she's silly, like, oh shoot, what the hell? And they're all like, took in by surprise, like, what the heck is wrong with this girl? Like, she's clearly crazy. But I sympathize a little with Blueface because he had a situation with his mother and his sister, and your mother and your sister, but I sympathize because of that little part only. I don't know what really was the issue about or whatever the case was. I guess he thought that his mother and his sister was kind of his business too much, and he just wanted to fuck bitches and yada yada. I don't care. I don't know what the hell. But you have to, as a man, as a son, now you're gonna appreciate that. Now you're gonna appreciate that. Cause most mothers nowadays, bro, most women nowadays, they're like an amoeba. Like your grandmother ain't gonna tell you she a hoe. Your grandmother's gonna let her in the house. Back in my days, bring a hoe to fucking my grandma's house, nigga. My grandmother is gonna chew me a new one and chew her a new one before she leave. No hoes were allowed for our cousins. Uh, while she was alive, no hoes were allowed for my cousins or my uncles. There's a whole new generation. Women don't police themselves these days. The hoes show the ladies and all that other shit. And that's cool. Again, I am not here to, criticize all that shit. But it's extremely crazy. If you notice, us men, the real niggas chill with the real niggas, corny niggas chill with the corny niggas, the potheads chill with the potheads, the rappers chill with the rappers, and nah, y'all got a whole big mix of bullshit. Shit, back at least, and um, yeah, back at least in school days, like, yeah, y'all was separated too. Like, y'all all had different interests, and that was okay. Now it's like all in the sake of girl power, fuck all men, and it's just getting scary, and I was just my piece on it. It's just getting scary and stupid, and honestly, it's getting to the point that it's getting to the point that it seems cultural, and then that leaves a stain on the whole culture and the whole society. Should I say, and how we're viewed in society, and it just gets so ugly. I just want I just pray. I just want us to be more mindful of our nature. Like, I want women to start studying male nature, just like men study female nature. You know, some of us had to do that. Some of us do that. Like, we really study female nature. Like, I had to all my life. I was raised with two females. I was raised with two females. My stepfather was around. My stepfather was around. God bless him. But my mom was always single mother minded. You know, she ran the ship, which worked out for him. But if I want to give out two messages right here, is that just like, you know the man don't win in these situations, and the woman don't win in these situations. But you know who lose for real? The kids. The children lose out of these situations. When it comes to times like, Christmas and Thanksgiving and all this other shit, and there's little to no families around. Yeah, they'll have gifts and shit like that. But don't you remember your Christmas? Like, did you have like a family structure for your Christmas? A lot of us didn't. But we all gotta be mindful of, what's getting pushed towards us and why it's getting pushed towards us. And be mindful of that, man, because it's just like the war's coming. There's something in the air. They just trying to keep us divided. Um, and we just gotta do better, yo. We gotta do better. We gotta do better. We can't get triggered. We can't get triggered. I'm seeing too many 40-year-old strippers. I'm seeing too many freaking mid-30s fucking strippers. You know what's gonna happen? I'm going to fucking predict this shit because it leaves you guys no choice. The BBLs are busting out, but you're gonna go get another BBL. So this is gonna happen. Men like me, right? I'm gonna have to start dating younger, like 27 and up, 27 to let's say 33. That's gonna be my cutoff. Because another thing that you guys don't like, study is sexual imprints. Sexual imprints matter. So if you have a load of relationships, you know what I'm saying? At some point, when you get to me, and let's say I'm the ideal person for you, and you love me, right? And you would love to change this and that for me, right? But you don't got it in you no more to change for nobody else. So the person you love the most gets the wackest deal out of it. Y'all gotta get together, y'all. Y'all gotta get together, dog. Y'all baby daddy counts these days to be talking all that crazy shit y'all talking. Like I wouldn't even like yo bro. I wouldn't like actually that's what's going on. Y'all feel like we picking on y'all. No. We love y'all. We highly respect y'all. We will still protect y'all. That's never gonna change. You are ours. You are our woman. You are our sisters. You belong to us. We should be there to protect you physically, right? But as a woman, you're supposed to protect us from everything else. Meaning the chatter, the gossip, all that shit, the perception of you. You control that. You control that. And you just gotta be more mindful. Y'all women just gotta be more mindful that you just don't just have daughters. That's another thing I want to touch on. Y'all treat your sons like shit. That's why I want to touch on. I've dated a lot of girls with fucking kids and this and that. And well, that's one of the things I noticed. Y'all treat your sons like shit, And it's all self-hate, and we need to clear that up. It's all self-hate. It's all built in. The matriarchy was built in. Let me tell you a little secret story, right? Let me tell you a little story of slavery before we get out of here. Get out of here. There was a field nigga, there was a house nigga, and then there was the nanny, right? The nanny in the house, the nanny would live in the house, and she raised all the children. She raised white children. She breastfed the white children and breastfed the black children. So she's the ultimate mom. She's the hub. She's the hub. Like she's mom. That's a lot of responsibility, right? That's a lot of responsibility Master had in her, and a lot of trust Master had in her, right? With all that trust he had in her, right? He instilled in her to make sure that if anybody's trying to get away, make sure he knows. Matter of fact, often it wasn't even like that. Often, nanny would snitch on me for trying to get ahead in life. Because when you're trying to get ahead in life, you take great risks, right? And she might never see you again. That's what she thinks. That's what people think in the hood, right? Some people don't want to support you because they feel like they will never see you again. And then I keep leaves them a burden. Cause, like, I hope you get that. Why you never come see me? And like, you owe me this, and they have this thing like you owe them something. I got a lot of Dominican friends that moved to DR when they were younger, and they felt like I owed them something. Nah, nigga, I had to come back home and live my life. But back to the analogy. So nanny would snitch on you not because of because she hated you, more like in fear of if you get caught, you might get killed. If you get caught out there, you might get killed. Now, if I get master to catch you right now, you might just get a couple lashings, but you'll be safe here with me. You dig what I'm saying? So a lot of people, that type of mentality was weaved in to our women to keep us in check in our households. You gotta be mindful of that. And you women too have to be mindful of that. That sometimes, that man got to take that risk. Another thing we gotta be mindful of is, we're only 13% of the population. We need to do better. We need to increase our population because we live in a racist democracy. So if you live in a racist democracy where every race is picking whatever is for whatever's beneficial, picking the candidate that's beneficial to them, right? How you ever gonna win with just 13% of you? Democracy is a little bit of a shame like that. Hug each other, love each other, stay together. Let's build more families, black excellence, black life, black love. That's where it's at. And I'm out. I hope somebody got value out of this.